Hello guys, this is Teketeke Nation Live, where we are giving voice to the voiceless in our societies. And the program on air is the silenced truth. In our society, maisha hapa na pale, you realize ya kwamba there are many things which are happening every day, many challenges that are happening every day, but then society inaamua kuzikanyagia tu chini ya carpet so that we don't really talk about these things. And today I'm super excited because we are talking about how domestic chores zina affect the learning ya watoto madem. In most of our African societies, you'll realize ya kwamba jobs za nyumbani zile unallocate wasichana kufua, kuosha, most of these things zika allocated kwa madem, while boys at times wanasaidianga but not equally, and so this in a way disadvantages the girls. And today I'm joined by a guest who's extremely passionate about girls' education, and she'll be sharing with us her own experience. Hizi job za home alipokuwa kigrow, just looking at her own community, anaona kweli zima affect aje the learning outcomes za our girls. And allow me to invite our guest to introduce herself, and then from pale to tambe kutamba. Yes, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Uko salama?
Morning.
Morning to you. You're good?
Salama.
Wekelea uzito.
Ndio hiyo sasa.
Yes, to our audience, unaweza ambia kwamba wewe ni nani, kutoka wapi, na why are you passionate about girls education?
Sure, thank you. Thank you everyone. Today I'm super excited because I've gotten this chance at least to be able to speak on behalf of girls. My name is Purity Mugambi. I hail from Meru County.
Meru. Umekuja na ile kitu. Ile matawi yetu, ile mboga.
Hiyo matawi tunaweza organize.
Mboga muhimu, unajua mboga. Hizi vitamins bana.
It's part of our culture. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And talking of matawi, you know, it's entrenched in our culture, and there is a way actually matawi affects even how the girl child is portrayed in the society, because matawi is actually supposed to be part of the dowry negotiations.
Oh, so people discussing dowry.
Yeah.
Mambo ya matawi iko ndani.
So matawi sio kitu ya kuchezea in men, and it affects girls education and how they turn out in the society.
Okay.
Yeah, but we'll get there. Let me briefly introduce myself. My name is Purity, as I've said, Mugambi. I grew up in Meru, Tigania West, larger Meru County, Tigania West constituency. I was born there, Meru Hospital. I went to school there, and then I turned out to be who I am today. And I'm very, very passionate about seeing a girl child being able to rise up and become someone in the society, at least to maneuver through all these challenges, because honestly, I look back at how I grew up and I really thank God, because it wasn't easy.
Kubaya.
Okay, siwezi sema ni kubaya, but kulikuwa kubaya because, you know, culture. That's how you find things, and that's how you just cope with them. It's like, let's say religion. You find yourself, you're born in a certain religion, so that's what you pick up, and that's the religion you believe in, and you defend. You understand? So when you find yourself in a certain culture, you find yourself, you blend in, you just try to live according to how things are. And thankfully, me, I thank God a lot because of my mom, because actually, yes, she took her ground to ensure that her girls
go to school,
they become something, they don't just end up getting married
at an early age.
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
Exactly.
So just to get us started to our viewers, the different social norms that zina a lot of gender stereotyping discussions in terms of kuna jobs ambazo zika allocated kwa madem tu nyumbani. And let me start by asking our guest, is it domestic chores, just to our viewers, what are they, and maybe if you could share some examples.
Thank you so much for that question. Imagine, can you imagine, right from the time a girl is born, a girl child is born, at least from my own experience, a girl child is born to nurture, from a very young age, to nurture, to take care of everyone in that household. Like it's like she's a young parent. Yes, she's being brought up to be a wife, to be a mother, to take care of everyone, and to forget herself. To forget herself, and to just give her all, but to make sure that everyone is happy, everyone is settled, and everyone is taken care of. So breaking down to the chores, we look at the domestic chores. When I was growing up, there was not much of the infrastructural development, like water. We used to fetch water from the river.
So going to the river to fetch water.
You have to fetch firewood. You have to fetch...
The forest, that is, which can be risky.
Yes, you have to fetch food from the farm and prepare that food for the entire family. Even if you are as many as 10 or 11. Actually, in my family, we are 13, including my parents.
13, Baba.
Exactly. And my
Baba
friend,
kucheza.
My friend, unasema nini? And then you have to cook food ya kulea kila, ya kukulwa na,
watu wote.
sorry, kukuliwa na kila mtu in that household. Na washibe, you understand? So you understand that a girl child, yes, ameenda shule, lakini akiwa pale shule, anajua when the bell rings, nitakwenda nyumbani, niende nichote maji, nitafute kuni, nikuje niweke chakula kwa jiko, and as I'm doing my homework, if food inaiva, nipakue, then niende nifanye homework, and remember I have to prepare myself for school tomorrow, and before I go to school tomorrow, I have to make sure that nimechota maji. Because if I don't fetch water,
watasumbuka kesho kama siko.
Watasumbuka, sitapata lunch.
Au utanyima because hukufanya.
Nikipika hii lunch, hii supper lazima nipike enough ya kubaki ya lunch.
Ya lunch ya kesho.
You understand? As in all those
jobs
you have to put them in place and account for them. To some extent, even the economic activities, like going to the farms on Saturdays, or even holidays, public holidays, or even when kuna, like, anytime we're not in school, you will find yourself, you're going to the farm, unatembea even for like 10 kilometers, unaenda uko kwa shamba, unalima, and you have to come back. Yani very exhausting. Farm work.
And it could be very exhausting, yeah.
Yes, and also you remember, uko ushago, uko kuna ng'ombe, kuna kuku, kuna mbuzi, so you have to look for feeds for these cows and goats, and you have to milk. As in, basically, let me say, there are brothers in that household, but when a brother just says, leo nataka nifuge ng'ombe, or nishughulikie ng'ombe, he is done. Amesema nimeshughulikia ng'ombe, ni hivyo sasa. Yes, siku yake iko sote. But for a girl, you have to make sure that every detail is taken care of. Hata wakati your brother maybe ajisikii kufanya hiyo kazi ya ng'ombe, wende utafanya. You have to make sure that everything is taken care of. And you don't say no, you don't object anything. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you. So
don't forget about domestic chores like the cleaning, the sweeping.
So washing utensils, washing clothes, sweeping the compound, and everything.
And everything.
Madam.
Yes.
So just to get it, so I would just like to understand who allocates this work to these girls. Is it the father or the mother? Who decides that they're the girls who are going to undertake these jobs at home?
Let me tell you something about the Meru culture. Our dads are very chauvinistic. They are in control. Baba ndio final decision maker.
Akisema hivyo imeisha. Yes.
Akisema hivyo, akisema this is how he wants things to happen, this is how they will happen. He may not come straight to the kids, but he knows how he talks to the mom, his wife. Of course, the mom has to be submissive. That's why it's that. So she's the one who runs the show. She's the one who directs what has to be done. And she will come to the kids if you're not obedient. That's why she will be like, no, hawafanyi nini, hawafanyi nini. Now, who wants to be reprimanded by their dad? No,
so would it be true you comply and
it's the
sort
man
out?
who allocates these tasks. Basically, the girl child follows what the mother is doing. Because you find every of this job is a mama.
Mama alikuwa anazifanya. So we grow up knowing hizi vitu ni za girls and women.
Hizi ni kazi za mama. Na mama ndiye anafanya hizi. So lazima nifuate venye anafanya. You understand? Most of the men by the way, it's either they have white collar jobs or if they either teachers, or maybe they're doing their business, or maybe they whatever work that, even those ones that have farms that they run, they are not on the ground, but sasa they run the show from the top. So hizi kazi zote, it is the mom who allocates, and she doesn't have a choice, because she has to make sure that everything is done right.
Okay.
Number two, she has to raise this girl to be a suitable wife in the society.
So okay, I get you. Now, just to really understand you, that would it harm your brothers, for example, if they came in and helped in terms of cooking, washing utensils, for example, looking at this camera?
I don't think it won't harm. It will never harm.
But they just can't.
To be honest.
Ama watachekwa. You know, I have been to places where they say ati boy akionekana anaosha vyombo ama anapika, watamcheka, wataona ni kama amekaliwa. Do you think something like that?
It won't harm. Let me tell you something. What I found myself in my own homestead. My mom was really dynamic, because we have brothers, and he would actually pair us up. Pair us up, anasema, or not even pair us up, anatengeneza something like
roster.
A rota. Anasema leo nyinyi ndo mnaosha.
Mademu wanafanya hivi, maboys.
Mnafanya hivyo, but it has never been allocated at the brother in yeye anapika. Labda ile kuosha vyombo na kidogo sana anyway. But my youngest bro, our last one actually, yeye ni mtu, let me call it revolutionized, because we went to high school, he was left home, and he would do everything of this on his own.
So amefua, amepika,
everything. Wheelbarrow, anaenda anachota maji, anakuja nayo, anapika, anaosha nguo, ana take care of the animals, and even right now, my brother goes home and splits firewood for my mom. My brother doesn't choose anything, and he has turned out to be a very outstanding man in the society as we speak right now. Because he doesn't have that mentality at a boy has to do this, a boy
I'm a man, you know.
Exactly.
I'm in charge.
Him, he has set himself apart. And you find the men who actually do this, the men who take this path, they turn out to be very successful people, fathers, husbands, because them, they understand that there is no task that should belong to a girl. Go to a restaurant right now, you understand how economic times are. Go to a kibanda, who cooks chapati, who washes vyombo. Chapati zile za kibanda zinapikwa na wanaume.
No mare, wanaroli chapo.
They are the best. Everyone needs to just pick these roles and impress them, because we always say everything you do in your early childhood, as long as ni kitu progressive, inakusaidia in future. You never know where you may apply.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure. So just to check, you had earlier mentioned about a girl who's in school. She's in class, but she's thinking about she needs to fetch water, she needs to look for firewood, she needs to prepare food that the other family members would even eat the following day. Do you think that domestic chores allocated to girls, to some extent, they affect how girls attend school? So that some girls end up missing going to school, for example.
Hi, unauliza. It is obvious.
It's the norm.
It is the norm. It is the norm. I remember when I was growing up, there are so many girls who dropped out of school. Because
these jobs are home.
Because they were overcome by.
Ama wanaenda kuchuna kuhave muguka ama what do they?
Let me tell you something. Okay, where I come from, at least my parents, we don't have that mirror thing. So, but hata huko kwenye kuko na miraa, because we went to high school with some of those. I went to a high school which is close. I went to Maua Girls. It's where that miraa is from, So but from my home, from the area that I went to school there are so many girls who never even managed to complete class 8 because they were overcome by these chores. Let me tell you, Meru is a very it's an agricultural area, and there are times when kuna kauka tu kidogo, like you understand, kuna some form of drought, so there is food shortage and all that. And because a girl has been nurtured to care, to provide, to make sure that everyone is fine, a girl will miss school and go and look for manual labor somewhere so that she can be able to afford food to get something to
for the
buy
family.
food and come at least wapate food nyumbani, you understand? So and you see, when you start touching money at that very young age, you are going to school.
Child labor.
Yes, but you unaenda kule unapimiwa section ya unalima unapata your 100 bob,
ukuje nyumbani
you get 50 bob, unanunua 50 bob, unapatia your mom, inakuwa chakula. Money, you understand what money means. So most of them dropped out of school.
So tunazoea pesa mapema,
unazoea pesa
then
mapema,
inakuwa sababu hata
unajua now we are addressing it from a point of, this is a child. A child really doesn't need to do the work of providing for the family.
Yeah, they shouldn't.
Okay,
a child should enjoy his or her childhood.
They should have a proper childhood. And we are not saying that they should not actually participate in this job. They should help. Even at school they are taught, go clear the table, wash utensils.
They need to learn. Yeah.
But they are not supposed to be the ones
to take over.
Who are taking over. You know. And it's not right, because this is the time where the girl needs to build her own future from that very young age. So this chores actually affected education so much. You asked me, you understand that some dropped out of school.
So wengine na drop out shule because wamezoea pesa mapema ni nini, waka drop out of school.
They dropped out of school. Others, they could never perform well in school. Me, thankfully, in as much as we used to do these things, I used to look at it from the point of view that my mom used to really encourage us to study hard and to turn out not to be like her. You know, my mom never had a chance to go to school, not because she refused, but because again of this culture thing, whereby she was married to my dad, who is educated, and now she wasn't, so that her brothers could benefit, because she was the only child. And they were like, she has 3 brothers, elder to her, 2 elder, her, then the youngest. So the eldest, being the man making decisions for the girl child,
also made a decision that she needs to go.
She decided that she has to be married to my dad, and then
the dowry would help now.
And it turned out to be exactly helping the family of my uncle, who got her betrothed to my dad. So my mom missed out on education, not because she wanted to, but because that's how the culture decided for her. But now for her, she saw to herself, her children will never face the same path.
So she really pushed hard that for you and your other siblings, you get a chance to go to school.
So my mom actually was getting us a balance in life, even when she would have us do all these chores and all that. But then again, she would really stress us to study hard and become, and it turned out to be well, because unasoma na unapita mtihani despite everything that you're going
bado unapata chance ya shule.
Mtihani, unaenda high school, unapita mtihani, and then you go to your university. Who will remember where? So it calls for your own very strong discipline as a girl child, and you need a mother or a guardian, a female guardian, who is really
who can
holding
walk
your
through
hand,
with you,
who is holding the torch for you like this, so that you can be able to maneuver against all these challenges to become someone in the society.
Okay. So what I gather from you to our viewers is that girls are facing a lot of barriers.
Kabisa.
Culture is very, very strong in our communities, and to a large extent, somehow, it has some barriers that affect how our girls attend school. For example, dema akona job home, inafaa afue, inafaa pike, inafaa chote maji. These are things that we have done. It is true we have done. And if we continue in many of the families, especially people living in towns, people, for example, at times bring on board house girls who come in to help, house managers who come in to help. But in a normal rural family, utapata most girls wako assigned his jobs when boys are going to school.
Thank you.
So these girls wanahitaji wapate msaada wa wazazi, someone to hold their hand, some form of a mentor, someone who will be a role model, aweze kudemonstrate ya kwamba despite these challenges, pale mbele iko possible, so that they don't drop out of school and mess up their lives. Why? Because we would want them to have an equal opportunity kwa to make attempts at life, waweze ku attend school kama wenzao, ili watu waweze kukuwa na successful outcomes. Just to check, you have mentioned something about having someone like a role model. So within your community that time when attending school with these other challenges, were there other girls older than you that you wanted to become like them when you grow up? You're looking up to them. Ama mademu wengi pia hawakukuwa wameenda shule.
Okay, I've mentioned this. Personally, as we were brought up in a Christian setting.
Neno.
The word of God, I tell you. And my parents actually, my family is Methodist. Methodist.
Yeah,
So
I realized Kenya Methodist is very strong in Meru.
It started there.
Oh.
Yeah, so Meru, the strongest, let me call Protestant denomination or whatever, is actually Methodist. And you find that Methodist stands out because of so many things. And to some extent, even that belonging to that denomination helped a lot, because there are some things in the society that would set it apart. For example, there's an issue of FGM. Methodists
is against.
It is completely against FGM. You find that other denominations like Catholic, they would practice it, but in Methodist, it was strictly no practice of that. So
and FGM also affects a lot girls.
It does. So when you go to church and you find you're being taught at the Sunday school, you find that the ladies who are teaching you in Sunday school, in Sunday
they
school,
inspire you.
the youths, ni watu wanakaa tu wako smart,
watu wako fiti,
wameoga,
mabazenga.
ndio hiyo manze, wameoga, wako na wametengeneza nywele vizuri. And then you used to have something when you become a teenager or turn 12, you go to the catechism, you become a member of the girls brigade, then you're taught so many things about how even to take care of yourself, like reproductive health, menstrual health, and all that. So, and these are girls that are teaching you these things. As in, we used to be taught a lot of discipline. Actually,
by other girls now?
Yes, in church. The church, I'm not religious. Personally, I'm very silent when it comes to religion, but my foundation came from there. Yeah, because
you have mentioned something here which I would like really to pick. This issue, discussions on sexual reproductive health, issues to do with how just girls can manage and carry out themselves. Are these discussions that parents were holding with you that time while growing up, or it is something that only those girls would use that space, that safe space within the church to take you through, or were your parents also teaching you the same?
Now let me tell you. Actually, we'll head there. Let me first of all finish on who used to inspire us. It's on that line. So you find that these girls that are teaching us, they are from high school. Au wameenda high school.
So una feel
wanakuja wanatufundisha new songs.
Una feel fit.
Wanatufundisha very nice songs, those Sunday school songs. Very nice songs. It feels so good. Like you would want to one day go to high school and become something like this. Hata kama utarudi kufundisha ama utarudi, but at least you'll be someone mwenye akona life too better than what you have. So actually they used to inspire me a lot.
A lot, yeah.
And then on the question you've asked about menstrual health, our parents were my mom was very silent on that. Not only my mom, like they are very silent on that. In fact, some of these things are left to the aunties.
What utafuta tu kwa nje?
No, not even aunties. You just maneuver it yourself.
But how are parents expecting you to learn about sexual reproductive health?
Because the first time I remember my mom mentioning about my reproductive health, and maybe not even mentioning, actually mentioning, it was when I was going to Form 1. I was 13 and I was actually just turned. Yes, I was 13. And that's when during shopping she told my dad that, these are girls and they need...
Get her some sanitary.
She just used...
Oh, she said get this thing.
They need this at the end of the month. Every month. That is the single one time I heard my mother
they need this thing.
My mother mentioned about reproductive or something closer.
Something related.
To menstrual health.
Like has she... Okay, why is she even feeling ashamed to talk about sanitary towels? A culture inamzuia, anaogopa, anaona ni shameful.
It is a culture.
But how would you know how to use sanitary towels without being taught? Uhaendo hustle too?
Okay, at school, home science class, And also, and you find that when I, Manzi, do you know, when I was in class 6, then it was around 1999. Yes, 1999. Then tukafika 2000, class 7. So home science was removed from the
yes, I remember. Waka scrap off.
So it was a struggle because now you don't, those teachers, alafu being public school, hakuna ati hygiene classes or all that, because the opportunity that used to be there previously
in home science,
the teacher would come and teach you and tell you
stuff,
how to take care of yourself, but now there was no hygiene.
Umaachiwa tu mathematics,
science, social studies.
Sasa hata hii this
Kiswahili and English. You're left wondering, how am I supposed to cope with this? So most of these things actually you used to discuss with friends, amongst yourselves and all that. And it's not in a very open, or maybe you just see, or you've read in your science, book, reproductive health, when you turn 13 or something, you start experiencing these things. You don't have someone to ask. So most girls used to swell themselves and not be there. Yeah.
You need power or something. Can help you.
So
a moment, we're getting some power here. Some challenges hapa kule lakini tuna manage. So wazazi hawakuwa so open just to discuss this issue na watoto. Wazazi pia wako ashamed, so mtoto aenda hustle. In those days internet haikuwa. So
you used to rely on what's written on the home science textbook.
Oh, okay.
And then you see your friends, maybe they are messing and
and
they feel so bad, and then you see it's actually a mixed primary school, so the boys will be like,
it's a mess. Who nae? Not knowing.
It's a, I remember one time a friend really messed up, and she would tie a sweater. And the teachers, even the teachers,
they shame you.
Even the teachers shame you. I remember in my school, at some point we didn't have a single female teacher. So it was just men.
Males, you can't talk to them about this stuff.
Whether it was just, let me call it was just, but okay.
By the grace of God.
By the grace of God. Okay, some of us experience these things later, maybe after you've gone to high school. When you go to high school, you know the first time it's a proper high school. So unapatiwa ile orientation.
So
so you learn these things from there. And also, let me tell you something. This issue of menstrual hygiene and not having someone to talk to. When you've started, when you've matured, you've hit puberty early. So you see, when your elder sisters are being shopped for, they're being bought those and all that, and tampons and all that. So you're like, hata mimi ningetaka kufika pale high school, you at least nikuwe na mtu wa kunishughulikia, because you can imagine you're a girl, una experience hizi vitu uko primary school, and you don't have a way of maneuvering. How does your mother expect you to raise 50 bob every month to buy this thing or whatever amount to be able to get some things, like even pants, underpants? You used to just take care of yourself.
Ni shida.
Manze, so unaona vile mtu akienda high school anafanyiwa shopping.
Also so kwenda high school ndio at least uweze kuwa na access kwa hizi stuff.
Yes, I better work hard ndio hata mimi nifanyiwe shopping, nikuwe nanunuliwa hizi vitu. Yes, it was an inspiration. For me it was a silent inspiration. I never vocalized it, but I used to admire that. But me, I had bigger dreams. I wanted to just be something different from what was.
Seeing the
as in there was a lot. Because if I used to look at the bigger picture, and I'm like, if I look at those small things like being shopped for, those are basics. There's a bigger picture. I want to turn out to be something, someone in the society, be able to help myself, help my kids, and help someone in the society.
I get you.
Yeah. So all those things used to inspire me. And inspire every other girl during that time. Yeah. So.
So to our viewers, what I'm gathering is that most of our parents actually our parents struggled to talk to our girls on issues to very personal issues like sexual reproductive health, menstrual hygiene, just how a girl can pack and manage herself. Isn't the stuff ambazo parents waliogopa kuzungumza? But these are things that are happening today, and my challenge to you as a parent out there, these are discussions we need to have with our daughters, because tusipowaambia there is internet, and internet can either ruin our kids, ama wapatie too much information, ama wapatie hata wrong information. So wazazi hapa pale nje, hizi stuff ni normal, these are normal discussions we need to engage in, ili watoto wetu wasiendelee kusumbuka pale shuleni. Just to get it from you, do you think at the moment you're a parent, just to confirm?
Yes, yeah.
So would you handle, if assuming that Mungu amekubariki na mtoto kijana na msichana, would you assign them hizi kazi za nyumbani differently, or pia wewe utakalia mtoto wako msichana fua, mop, pika, kijana na anaona cartoon? Or how would you handle it?
Let me just tell you something. For me, I am a very I am an individual that values balance a lot and fairness, and from my own experience I've seen there is no task that is allocated to a lady that cannot be done to a man. A lady can do what a man is doing except giving back. A man can do what a lady is doing.
Yes.
Except carrying a baby before they are born. You understand?
Yeah, I get you.
Honestly, other than the human anatomy, there's nothing that is so different between a man and a woman. All we need to do is to embrace these tasks, these roles, very positively for each one of us. Because you understand, even you, at some point you are a bachelor.
Yes.
So who used to cook for you, used to wash for you, used to do things for you? It's
Kibandaski.
yourself. No, it's not kibandaski. Sometimes come you to kula kibandaski.
Nacheza kibandaski, nacheza mama fua pale.
Ndio hiyo. Hata siku hizi kuna mama fua. Hiyo nayo ni nyingine. No, you have to do your thing yourself.
So all children, both boys and girls, need to learn how to undertake these domestic chores. Kila mtu akuwa anaweza fanya.
Exactly.
So that all of them wapate na same opportunities kwenda shule.
Exactly, because if when you look Musa here, some of these, okay, honestly, all these things are for the personal benefit. Let's talk about personal hygiene. Who wants to see a man that is just unkempt just because no one took care of them?
They didn't learn this
Even
thing.
if I wash for you your clothes, will I come and wash you?
No,
will I come wash your face? It comes from there. So it is a personal responsibility to take up these roles and to embrace them and to do them. Because like right now, the world has really changed. It's changing very dynamic in the sense that I'm working, my better half is working, so the role of taking care of the kids is to both of us.
Both of you, yeah.
So there are times when maybe I'm late for work and you're home with the kids. Does it mean that the kids won't eat dinner?
No, they have to eat.
They will have to eat dinner. So there should not be a line that hii ni kazi ya mama, hii ni kazi ya baba. Bora tunasaidiana.
Madem na maboys wote ni watoi, wafanye job, wote wajue ili tuweze ku. Na sasa the young parents at the moment, young parents wenye Mungu amebless na watoto wasichana, watoto vijana, what's your advice to them in terms of just now managing domestic chores? How wazazi wenye kwa hapa. Unajua tunablame sana wale wazazi wa kule nyuma, kizazi cha kitambo. But now in the current world, we are the parents now. What would you tell parents now who have the young children, they're raising them, in terms of dividing and assigning his domestic chores?
Let the boy cook, let the boy wash, let the boy tidy up the house, just as the girl is doing. And it should not be like the boy should take care of his bedroom peke yake, alafu the girl is taking care of the entire house. No, there should be, for me I would do this, have a rota. A rota, like today wewe ndo unafanya hizi kazi zote, kesho ni ama mnafanya pamoja. Like unafanya ninafanya, tunasaidiana. We prepare dinner together. We wash together. We tidy up the house together. Kama tuwezi fanya together, leo kuna siku yako, kesho kuna siku yako. And it's done. Balance, equality, everyone is happy, everyone learns something. And when you find yourself doing something, you learn to be self-reliant. As a man,
you are self-reliant. Yeah. Yes. For me, kwanza kijiko tu kuchapa tu hivi mayai kanyama fulani hivi managu kudondoa. You don't trust me, look at my fingers, you see.
I see.
Nza kudondoa managu hizi. Nikikudondolea managu hivi ama nishike kisu hivi kukata kale kasukuma unafikiria niko kwa kibanda pale nje mama.
Ndio.
Noma So you see, when my wife meets me, I'm a complete package.
Exactly.
Naweza pika, naweza osha, naweza piga deki, naweza fanya nini. So, and there is another challenge. I've talked to some young people who tell me when I feel some shame. You know, men who feel ashamed that sasa kuosha vyombo, sasa kupika, atakwenda pale nje kununua sukuma. What is your view on this? Because in terms of now as a woman, as a girl, mnaonanga wanaume wenye wanajua kuosha vyombo, wanajua kufua, mnaona kama hawako fiti ama?
For me, naonanga tu wako sawa. They are just normal like me. If
ama mnaona wako na umama. So wanaume pia na wanaogopa kwenda jikoni because these jobs wangependa kuingilia wasaidie. So that tukue na an equal society, madem wapate space ya kwenda shule. But then now tunaogopa the moment nitaonekana na kata sukuma, nitaonekana nafua, then I am afraid nitasema mimi ndio niko na umama.
Acha nikuambie kitu moja. Ushaisikia kuambiwa amekaliwa na wife?
Kuna sio amekaliwa hapa nje.
Hiyo sasa ndio inafanyanga most men waseme mimi siwezi pika, siwezi fanya hivi, siwezi enda. Hizo ni kazi za wanawake. I can't do those things. Ati I enter kitchen doing what? Unajua, I had someone saying ati hata kitchen ni ofisi ya mom, and I was so shocked. And that person was actually they were building their home. A virgin, they had bought virgin land. Now they are building a home. And now anaambia that contractor, sasa hii
ofisi ya mama.
Ndio ofisi ya mama.
Ukashindwa wana ofisi.
Anamuuliza master bedroom, anaambia hapana, jikoni. Aya. Because and then I came to learn that this man in yule hawezi guza anything ya kitchen. Hata kupatia kuinua kijiko hivi
haiwezekani.
And he's a young man, not that he's old generation young man. So you find when a man gets married, they change a lot. They become a completely different, let me call them species, because they are looking at what they saw of their mothers or whatever.
So zile vitu tumegrow up tukiona.
So when you get into the marriage setup, that's when the culture sits on you. Unaanza sasa kurudi back, unasema unaona sasa culture. Sasa hapa ndio apply vizuri sasa.
Ama ni sehemu nimekelea chapati.
This time my mom will come, my relatives, my dad, they wataanza kusema, acha tuone vile huyu mwanamke anatreat kijana yetu. Akiona kijana anachukua thermos anachota chai, amekaliwa. Amekaliwa kijana yetu. Fanya hivi, anaingia kitchen, amekaliwa. So it is actually a culture problem. And for me, I always say culture cannot change if I can't change the culture, but I can change myself. That's what I always say. I will always change myself. I will always empower a girl child. One day God will bless me with a son, and I will always empower this young man by showing him the right path to living, being self-reliant, being a responsible member, because neglecting those roles is being an irresponsible member of the society.
Even the irresponsibility inaanza.
Yes, that is being irresponsible. Who told you that lazima uende huko ukue accountant? Even if you're getting millions of money. That money one day inaweza kuwa tu, it can't do what your wife can do at home. Assume your wife is not.
And money is not everything.
Money is not everything. So we should learn to help each other. And how do we learn? By embracing the various roles that we have. Yeah.
So to our viewers, culture is good. Nobody is saying that you change your culture, but we are saying you can change yourself. Why? There are many roles ambazo culture imeweka mzigo kwa watoto wetu wasichana, wao ndio wanafanya. Hizi jobs za nyumbani, wanaosha vyombo, wanapika, most of these roles. And in the process unapata vijana wako huko home wanacheza, wanameketi kwa maduka, wameenda kuona movie, wanafanya nini? In the process, how madem pia tunataka waende shule, wa compete equally na hawa vijana. It is not possible. So, from what our guest is saying, that to create an equal playing field for both girls and boys, wote washare hizi kazi. Wote to assign kazi nyumbani, ili msichana akileta maji, kijana ameenda kuangalia ng'ombe. Msichana akipika, kijana anaosha vyombo. Why? Wote wapate an equal opportunity kwenda shuleni, kwa sababu we want to make a progressive society ambayo watu wamekuwa successful wote. There are many, if you just walking around many of these shopping centers, And even if you just took a time kwenda hapa ukimbie Kiambu, ukimbie Kakamega, uingie hapa Kirinyaga, ukimbie Tana River, Tharaka Nithi, you will get many young men au vijana wako age 20 hapo tu wanahang kwa shopping centers. Wako base. Yo sir, where are the ladies?
I would say okay. Ladies of that age, I won't defend them because much has changed. But honestly, a lady that age, maybe she's maybe in school, she's having something that she's doing. Maybe she's working in a salon, she's working in a restaurant, ako kwa kibanda na katakata. She's doing something. Na kuna wengine tu wako home probably. You won't, because no one has much freedom like a man.
Men have freedom, but we
freedom.
misuse it.
Ladies don't have the freedom. Most of the times, even if you're 18 and above and you want to go out with your friends as a lady, your parents will be like, no. But a man will just go and be like, hey mom, I'm out with the boys.
Anapiga tu anaenda zake.
Nimeenda base. Kuja ufanye hivi. Yeah, so we don't have much freedom compared to the men. And you find that lack of this freedom is the one that is that pushes us to engage ourselves in something constructive. You understand?
I get you.
Because any responsible parents, the moment their daughter turns 18, they've already maybe planned, they go to college. Of course they go to college, they do something. So you find this lady is either in college, she's doing something, she's a well-behaved person, as a person now. But the parent has maybe done their part, amempeleka shule, anafanya kitu, and or at least someone knows where this lady is. But the boy yako base na kuna mtu anajali na yeye. And that's why they go to influence each other. You understand? So,
but do you think the moment tumeanza kutrain hawa vijana wakiwa dogo that they can stay idle? Vyombo zinaoshwa, boy amerelax. Watu wanapika, wanakata kitunguu nyanya, boy naye anaona cartoon. Watu wanaenda kuchota maji, boy naye anacheza banda. Aren't we making our boys irresponsible at very young ages?
We are. We are. Very, and that's a very bad thing because that's why it starts they are saying hiyo ni kazi ya wanawake, hiyo sio kazi yangu. Hiyo ni kazi ya wanawake. I can't do that. Of course, a man who wants to transform themselves and make someone a responsible member of the society will always be. For example, me at one point I would see my elder brother cooking for us when my mom is away.
Anachapa kijiko.
Kwa shamba, anaenda anachukua everything, anatengeneza, anatupikia. Yeye alikuwa amemaliza college that time. Tunatoka shule lunch, tunapata food.
Did it make him a lesser man?
It didn't make him a lesser man. So you understand that the society expects the girl to do it, but for the man, it's upon them. It is just upon them.
A man decides.
A man decides, but for the girl,
the society decides.
You understand? And that's where we get it wrong. Yeah. Hope I've answered.
Thank you so much. Just to check, and sorry guys, this program is being sponsored by Teketeke Solutions. Pale chini ya screen you will see the phone number. Yeah, these guys, they do courier services in Nairobi. Anywhere in Nairobi, you call Thika Road, Waiyaki Way, Mombasa Road. Anywhere, call Teketeke Courier Solutions. On their phone number, they will pick your parcel, deliver it at very good rates. Those rates, utabaki umeridhika. Why would you want to struggle with your own parcel from Ruiru unapeleka Tao with all this traffic jam when you can just call Teketeke, they deliver so that you can focus on your core business? I want to understand, do you think that kuna wazazi at the moment, now, born and raised in Meru, with all these changes na advances in society ambazo zimekuja, parents bado wana allocate watoto wasichana more household chores ama things are now changing different to how you were growing up?
A lot has changed.
Yes.
Because you find now the parents that are currently the parents that we have right now are mostly my age. Most of these parents, at least, most of them wamefika maybe like class 8. Kuna wengine wamefika form 4, kuna wengine wako na tertiary education. So you find hao ndo wako pale ushago. Na wanaelewa what are these things that affected them when they were young. So in as much as this cultural thing is still entrenched at the village, then they are trying to at least make, there's a change, but we are not that here. We are not yet there.
So there is some positive change, but we still.
Yes, of course, because also economic dynamics have changed a lot. sahi not everyone goes kwa shamba ndio apate a source of income. People have bodabodas, people have stima imefika ushago, so people are
unafanya tu biashara hapa na pale,
salons, wanafanya tu vitu hapa na pale. So you see, these roles have also somehow eased the community burden, economic burden. Si lazima mtu aende wapi ndio aweze kupata chakula. Si lazima mtoto wake ati ampeleke kwa shamba, because at least kuna
two options hapa na pale.
As in vitu tu, things have eased up, but not everywhere. Not every part of the Meru community. Yeah, because Meru is quite large. There is
Then Kutamu, last time I was in Meru, I liked the place.
It is.
And when you look at Meru, it's so green. Huwezi jua uko ndani kwa hiyo green ninaona. Kuna issues kwa hiyo vegetation, kuna maneno kuna watoto wanaumia kuna challenges
But you see, you've not really traversed Meru while you head towards Isiolo, you find sasa huko ndiko tulikuwa tunaenda kulima. Huko inaitwa Rwanda. Rwanda is let me say Sahara. It's a dry kumekauka. So you go there, unatembea in flip flops, zile za tairi ya gari, unatembea umetoka manze, unatembea for 3 hours 4 hours ndio ufike. Unaenda unakaa chini ya mti, unakunywa maji, unakula food, unainama kwa shamba, unalima saa 10 tena unainuka unaenda.
Narudi nyumbani.
If you have to spend huko, utaenda uombe mahali pa kulala. Hivi kwa Kagunia, asubuhi amkesha kazi ya shamba. It was hard. So those places have not yet changed a lot, because population also is not as high. Na pia watu wako na large tracts of land. Na unajua sasa land in Meru hiyo ni ya mzee.
Shamba ni ya mzee.
Sasa shamba ni ya mzee. Na unajua mzee naye akiwa na wasichana atawapoza huko, waolewe, apate mali ya kusa kuinvest kupigia mwili pole. Hivyo. So life is very easy in those areas for the man. It is the woman who hustles and struggles with everything. In fact, you find a woman becomes pregnant, the mom doesn't even know. Anajifungua anakuja apata kuna katoto. He doesn't know what happened. So those areas bado hakujapata.
Bado kuna challenges.
Kuna challenge. Sasa huko sasa ndio kunaelekea sasa where I was when I was growing up. Yeah. But there's a change, but
bado kuna kazi inafaa ifanyike.
Yes, but me, I have something I can tell parents.
Yes. Looking at this camera, look straight in the eyes.
Yes. The issue of reproductive health for the girl child.
Important.
You can see there's a lot. There are many initiatives speaking about the reproductive health of the girl child. There are so many ladies who are coming out there with their own ways of giving back to the society, donating pads and all that. But let me tell you something. If you as a parent or the guardian of an adolescent girl cannot address that issue yourself, cannot hold the hand of that child, mwambie imefika hapa
kunaenda hivi.
Even if the whole world decided to give back to the society, we will still have the same problem. Because hebu niambie, utasaidiwa for how long? Because I also saw this when I was in high school. Procter & Gamble used to come to my high school, wanatupatia sanitary towels and all that. Not because we were lacking, but it was just part of the initiative. But for me, what I think is more impactful is when parents embrace it themselves. So
parents champion equal rights among and between their own children.
Yes, so that even when donors come, they are just adding
to what all parents are already doing.
Yes,
but like donors are trying to push, but then wazazi now to wanna resist.
Exactly.
I would read a comment here just from Penina, who says that role taking is a challenge that need to be addressed. But again, I learned that it is through this role taking that we have same gender marriage, which I'm not against, but traditionally it was so rare. So there is an assumption which is wrong. I think that parents think if, for example, my boys wakianza kuosha vyombo, kufua, kupika or something, then chances of them getting into same sex marriages inaweza anza kwa rise.
That's an interesting one. I would not think it
like that.
I would never look at it from that perspective, because most I remember, as I told you earlier, this role taking, it is part of self-empowerment, self-reliance. So there is no way like me washing utensils, doing a role that is assumed to be a woman's role.
Doesn't make you a woman.
Yeah, woman. I mean, less.
Or doing
of
a role
man.
assigned for men doesn't make you a man.
Less of a man, yeah. So you find the issue of same-sex marriage or relationship, it's a completely different issue relative to the roles, relative to the gender and all that. Because you find you go to restaurants, you find
waiters
mixed
up.
Those guys who cook in restaurants, my friend,
Men.
and they are so cheerful. It's men.
Wanasukuma
Actually, for me,
kisembe.
I actually like being served by men in restaurants.
Naonage kwa restaurants. Mademo wakisema wanaume kuna wanachatip.
Alafu wana smile, wanakuserve wakismile.
Mtu anainua chapo na kibiceps.
Ndio hiyo, alafu
dem anakuja na feelings na chapo.
And then even, okay, honestly, I think they take their job, they embrace it because they do it because they want.
Yeah, sure.
Not because the society pushed it onto them.
Okay.
And I mean, I think part of being on this program or this show today is to sensitize to the men that you don't have to wait for the society to dictate to you what you want to be.
Sure.
Be something. Be yourself. Take up something. Tell yourself what you can do. Because for like me as a woman, the society expects me to go through all the processes and turn out to be something. Even if I'm beaten, I stay there. Vumilia shida. And that's why you find domestic violence, issues of women being treated like whatever, because that's how the society expects them to as in kuvumilia, to be there. No, there's a difference between being obedient and being
foolish.
Being
a slave.
Being a slave. Yeah, so the issue of gender, same-sex marriage, and the gender roles in the
cannot
honestly,
be brought together.
They can never
they can't come in one sentence.
Yeah, they can't marry. They can never come into the same sentence. And in as much as we want equality and freedom and all that, I think that's something that needs to be addressed, maybe differently.
Maybe different, yeah.
Yeah, because again, this is someone who comes and says, "This is what I want to do."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the society, you know.
Yeah. So as we come to a close, there are many young girls. I would like you to address two people. One, parents who are now raising girls in different parts of this country, in different parts of this world. How should they be in a position to allocate roles at home to both girls and boys? And finally, speak to the girls out there who are still growing up. They are undergoing these challenges. How resilient should they be? Wavumilie, wangangane, ili pia wao mwisho wa siku waweze kufanikiwa. Please.
Okay, first question, you say that how should parents allocate these roles to both girls and boys in the society to make sure that at least there is a balance, right? Okay. For me, I would say everything. We say the family is a basic unit of a society, right?
Sure.
And you mold everything, everyone.
At family level.
At family level, at home. If we could have our fathers and mothers, or whatever, whoever parent is around, because sometimes nowadays both parents are not able to be around.
So the caregiver.
Yes. The parent that is there, please give these roles to both your children without choosing who is supposed to do this, who is supposed to. Give the roles equally, distribute the roles equally, show them everything equally. Don't concentrate more on the boy child's homework and neglect the girl, because the girl is out there cooking and doing other stuff. Don't give the girl child a lot of housework and have the boy go playing football and whatever and watching.
Having fun.
Having fun. Let each and every child have an equal opportunity of every moment that they have at your home. Roles, play, homework, everything. Raise balanced children, and you'll see they'll turn out like that. The next thing I can tell to the girl child is I know there are those that are still experiencing those issues that we addressed earlier. It's upon you now to take it upon yourself. I always say that nothing can limit anyone unless they want to limit themselves. you always achieve what you believe in. So if you want to become anything, if you want to live a better life, if you want to brighten your future, just do the right thing, irrespective of the challenges that you're facing. Concentrate, education anyway. There's no any other way, right? It's through education. Focus on your studies, doing the right thing, and at the end of a tunnel, you're going to see light. What else? Because we made it. So what should limit? In fact, things are much better right now. When we were going to school, electricity iko imefika usha.
Ilikuwa normal.
Ulikuwa unaenda na lantern. But saa hii unaweza washa bulb, switch, kuna solar, kuna steamer. Things are much better for you. So just focus on your studies, be obedient, don't engage yourself in bad company. Always ask for advice, and when you can't get it, ask for advice from the right people, because again, there are all the bad people out there. Seek help, and as I always tell myself, seek and you shall always find. If you want good help, you'll get it, and you'll succeed in everything that you do. Yeah, that's it from me.
Thank you so much. Hello to our viewers. We've taken a whole hour just talking about the different, how domestic chores can become a barrier to girls' education. And it is true from the story and responses we've received from Purity here, from Meru, that actually this is something that she has grown up going through. Dem anapewa job pale home, ako inafaa aende shambani apalilie, inafaa aende achimbue mohogo awekele kwa sufuria apike, inafaa aende mtoni kuchota maji. All these jobs ni poa kufundisha madem because unamprepare kwa bibi ya mtu. But do you understand as a parent, as a caregiver, as a guardian, that in the process of doing all these things, huyu mtoto unamdeny kwenda shuleni, unamdeny kupata an opportunity ya kufanya homework, unamdeny time ya kupumzika. Children should enjoy their childhood. Children are not there to provide for families. So when you are out there as a parent, as a society, let us start understanding ya kwamba girls are not workers. Let girls enjoy being a girl. Let women enjoy womanhood. Tuwapatie equal opportunities, wapate kwenda shuleni, so that they can also have a better chance at the future. For the men, my fellow men out there, kuna kale ka pride kila mwanaume ako nako. Sitaki kuosha vyombo, sitaki kupika, sitaki kufanya nini, ati nitaonekana nimekaliwa ama sijui ni kwaje. Let us defend our sisters. Let us get home, tukunje mikono na shati, tuoshe vyombo, tufue nguo, to support, so that dada zetu wadogo wasi go through the same things our elder sisters went through. Why? We would want pia wao kuwa model wa kuwa successful human beings in the days to come. Why are we saying this? We would want to uncover the silent truths ambazo na happen hapa society. Nilikuwa Meru nimekuambia it is so green, but kumbe kwa hiyo green vegetation kuna maneno. We will be doing this every Saturday from 10 to 11, just to discuss different challenges ambazo na happen kwa society, ambazo watu wanapitia ndani, but we never talk about them. So for us, domestic chores is a great barrier to girls' education. Let us share them equally, ili madem sisters zetu, watu wetu madem wapate chance ya kwenda shuleni. Until next time, wacha tukutane. Kula weekend yako, pumzika, jibambe. And thank you so much, Purity, for finding time and sharing wisdom with us. I think we need to do this again, especially on menstrual health.
We will. We shall.
So tafute nafasi tuzungumze,
exactly,
to understand.
Yes, we will. We will.
Asante sana.
Karibu.
Wekelea uzito.
No, yes, asante.
No mare.
Asante.
Asante sana.
All right.
Meru nayo iko na challenge.